2013 Nissan Altima SV with a 2.5 motor. You can see the obvious problem with this car. Someone's a little too close to the side of the garage and ripped off the right side mirror. We're going to show you how to replace that. When ordering the mirror for your car, you got to specify if it's left or right. Right would be passenger side. And you got to specify what options it has on it, like if it's heated, if it's powered, if it's folding, if it's got blind side assist, all the different options it can have. This one is just plain old mirror with power. That's it. So that was the easy one to find. And also we were lucky enough that this cover right here, when she hit the thing, did not break. So normally you would have to have this painted. You could either paint it yourself or you could take it to a body shop so it would match the car. But we're going to try to put the old one on to save a little money. So we're going to show you how to do that. And these are the tools right here that we're going to use. You can use a screwdriver. This is a panel popper right here. And these are what you use to pry on it. You could use a screwdriver, but it will mar up your interior. So you want to use these because these are non-marring, so it shouldn't scratch anything. Okay, usually there's a couple screws holding this on, and there's clips all the way around the outside. I take one of these tools and start popping these out. Just nice and easy. Lift it up. And hopefully it just pops right out, which they don't always do. Nice and easy like that. Okay. And you like to do this when it's not extremely cold because these things are plastic. And if you're not careful with that, of course, you could break some parts. You can see there's a screw there holding it. And now we go to the top here. And if you're having a hard time getting that out, just get a screwdriver and go easy on it. But that pops out. Okay, and you can see there's another one there holding it. There's one here. And I'm pretty sure there's one back here. Okay. Just kind of go easy when you're pulling on it. Pull on both sides. And that snaps out. And if you look, there's one right here too. So once we get those three out, we're going to pull on the bottom and lift up, and that should take this door panel off. I'm using a 1/4 inch ratchet with a 10mm socket. Here's one. The one up front here. Make sure you know where all the screws and that are, because if you don't, you start prying this thing, you're going to start snapping plastic. And we got one more down here. Okay. Now I'm going to remove this. There's a little clip right here. You push in on it, pull evenly, and wiggle it. It should come right out. Just like that. I'm grabbing the bottom of the door here. Now you can use something like this to pry on it if it's really tight, and just to get in behind here and that, but I found if you usually just grab the bottom, just like that, you can usually pop it all the way around, and then you lift up on it. And you don't really have to take anything else off after that, because the next thing we're going to do is remove this right here, like that. And these are the screws that I need to take my mirror out, and this is where it plugs in. This is where the mirror belongs right here. These are the 3 bolts holding on. In some cars, you don't have to take this panel off. Some of them, if they're well engineered, you can just take this little plastic piece off and get at it. But this one, you got to take the panel off, no big deal. You want to clip it right there, pull it out. And now it's got another 10mm. And hang on to these nuts because they did not give us new ones. So you don't want to lose these. And that's it. This is what it looks like without the mirror. It's got a alignment rod right there, and then your 3 nuts. Just feed this through there and just line up your holes. Just like that. And get it, start your nuts on the other side. Okay, make sure your line is long enough for your electrical. Make sure the adapter is the same, the connector is the same. I just like to stay on this side, spin them on. Now snug them up when I'm done with that and plug it in and start putting the panel back together. You hear it click like that. Okay, next thing we're gonna do is snug these up. I mean, you don't have to get crazy on them. Just a little 10 millimeter. Okay, snug. And you can test it before you assemble it to make sure it's working right, but I'm not worried about that. I don't think I've ever had one not work. When I pulled it off, one of my little clips here, as you can see on this back panel, you got clips all the way that hook into your door. One of them popped out, so you just double check, make sure they're all where they're supposed to be. And we're gonna put this one back in. And it clips in like that. You got the 2 clips behind that. Once you get that in place, you raise this up, make sure that you got your wire, and you put it through the door like that, and you can see it slide down on there. Make sure this is up here, and then you start just hitting, you can hear them popping in all the way around, just like that. If you remember, we got a longer one. It goes down here. And we got the one right here. That one's tight. That one's tight. And we got the last short one right here. Okay, tight. Now you can put these back together in any order. It doesn't really matter. But we got to clip this in for your power. Snaps in like that. I guess it helps if you put it back together the right way. Snaps in. This little piece here, you can see it clips in like that. Like that. And that clips right in. We got this last one right here that you got a big hook on the bottom here. So you always put that one in first, like that, and just start squeezing it together. And that's all that takes right there for your interior to be back together. You can see this was the original Nissan, and this is the aftermarket part. But if you look at the clips, which I thought because it was aftermarket, they might be different, but it looks like it has all the same points on it. So hopefully this will just snap into place like this would. If not, we'll have to get this one painted. The next thing we're gonna do is try to install this. I mean, it's got a couple marks on it, but it still looks better than black. I always push the top in first, kind of put it in place like that, squeeze it together, and voila, new mirror on a 2013 Nissan Altima.